Hi, Mario.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Hi, Mario.
Hi,
Hey,
Abe.
hey.
Where are
How's
you, Abe?
everybody? Hi,
You're
Harold.
here or Hong Kong?
I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my next trip's to Israel, Mr. Shem.
Hmm.
Oh, when?
Next Monday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. My granddaughter's having a baby boy.
Oh, very nice.
So, yeah,
Where? In Israel?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. She lives in Zichron Yaakov. That's where we're going.
okay. That sounds good.
Absolutely.
Safe travels.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do, 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 do.
Oh, it's one of this.
Yeah. What happened? Where'd he go?
I don't
There
know.
he is. There he is. Okay.
You see him now, you.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hello. Before you start learning tomorrow, what time?
7 o'clock.
Okay.
Kuf Nun Test 159. Itmar. Bein shemachar b'nichsei aviv b'chaye aviv. Son who sold assets that belonged to the father while the father was alive, and then the son died, and then the father died. The grandson, Bno, motzim yada lekuchos, can take the assets away from whoever bought from his father. V'zui shekosha b'dinei maminos, and this is problematic. Now, what's the problem? V'leim rulei. Let the purchasers, whoever bought from the father, the son of the grandfather, avucha mazbin vad mafik. I mean, I understand. Your father sold it. You're coming to take it away from us. So umay kush, and what's the problem? Because Dilma Motzi Omar, mikoach avu da'aba kasina. I'm coming from the koach of my grandfather, because I inherited him, and he died. Teda tichsiv tachas avisecha yuvanecha. Means fathers and grandsons are like, tisitemulis or mechalaretz. So Eli kasha, if you want to find a problem, but dinei moment is ha kasha. Ben Bechor, you have a Bechor and you have a son. And the son of the Bechor, mochar chelik Bechor b'chayaviv, sold the part of the Bechor, the Pishnayim that his father inherited, while the father was alive. And then that son died, meis b'chayaviv. The grandson, Beno, motzim yad lekuchos, can dislodge what was bought by the buyer. V'zui shekosha b'nei manos. Again, we ask, Avu amaz b'niu mafik? The father sold and he's taking it away. B'chit teim achanami omar mikoch avu da'ava kasina. I'm coming through the force of my grandfather. Well, I mikoch avu da'ava ka'asya, b'chelik b'chor ma'avritei. The grandfather wasn't the b'chor. His father was a b'chor. He doesn't have a right to the b'chora. And what would be the kasha? Umay kushya. Dilmi motzi omer mikoch avu da'ava kasina. If I'm coming because of the grandfather, but I'm standing where my father stood, which was a bechor. So that's not that problematic then. Ikasha hakasha. Hayodelo edus bishtar. A person that signed on a star as a witness. And Adshula Nasa Gazlan. Later on, after he had signed that shtar, he became a Gazlan. And a Gazlan is Poseladis. The Nasa Gazlan, who ain't made al Ksav Yado. This Gazlan can no longer give testimony that this is his signature because we're not allowed to take testimony from a Gazlan. Aval acheri me'iden. If other people recognize the signature, they can testify that that's his signature. The hashta, Yulo Mehemen. He's not believed, even though he knows for sure that's his signature. Other people are going to be believed. The Zui Shakasha B'dinei Mamas. And this is hard. Where it says, my kushya, Dilma Kagon Shahulzik, Savyadu Bevezdin. Let's say somebody had already adjudicated his signature in a Bezdin before he was a Gazlan. And these Eidim are just coming to certify what I had done in Bezdin. Elai kasha hakash. I'll give you another, perhaps problematic halacha. Hayodei lo edus bishtar. Person knows testimony in a shtar on a certain piece of land. Achlo tipolo birusha. Before he had any connection to it as an heir. But then that piece of land fell to him Birusha. Now he's a Nogeh B'dover, and he's not allowed to be Makayim the Shtar. Hu ena yochel Makayim Ksav Yado. Aval acher michol Makayim Ksav Yado. If other people recognize his signature, they can be Makayim. Umay kushti, what would be the problem? Dil mahacha nami kigon shulchlik Ksav Yado bevezdin. Perhaps this is also a case where this star came into a Beis Din, they certified it when he was not Nogeh B'Dover. What's the problem with that? Nothing. Eli kasha hakash. I'll tell you what a problematic halacha is. Hayodealo be'edus achlo nasa chosno. Person knew a certain testimony in a star. He was an aide. And then he became a son-in-law. V'nasa chosno. Hu ene meidok savyado. He cannot, he's posela edus because he's a relative. Aval acherim me'idin. But other people who know his signature can testify. He's not believed on his own. Other people are believed. That doesn't make sense. Yeah. You go on somebody already certified his signature in another Beis Din. It's even in a case where it was not Muhzik in Beis Din. And Umay Kushya, what kind of problem? Dilma, you know what? He has no choice in the matter. It's a Gzeres HaMelech the lo me'amin. The Torah says if you're a relative, you can't serve as an aide. That's considered Gzeres HaMelech. That's why other people are believed. It's not like it's some kind of logical thing. It's Lav Mishum Mishaker. It's not that he's not believed as a liar. And I'll give you good proof. Moshe v'Aaron were brothers. And they could not give testimony l'chosna. Is it mishum deloy me'amniu? Because they're not believed? They each can't testify because they're relatives. That the case of Zui Kosher B'dinim Ominous is somebody who sold assets of the father and he died. And the son can come and take away from the people who bought. Udika Koshelach. You said it's not a problem because Tachas Avisech Yibanecha Pasuk. That's not a raya. That pasuk is not lahalacha. Hahu bebracha ksiv. It's not coming to be kovei halacha. It's coming to give a bracha. Umi matzis hametz bebracha ksiv. Is it only referencing a bracha? Aval le'inyan dina lo v'atanya. Nafal abayis alav alavi. A house falls on a person and his father. Or alav al ma'risho, or other. It falls on him and other people who would give him stuff in inheritance. They all died. We just don't know who died first. Hai Salav on the son was a ksuba sisha ubalchov. He owed money and he owed a ksuba. Yorshei avoymir my ben meis risho. The heirs of the father say the son died first. And the father inherits his son. Vachakach meisav, and then the father died. And therefore, we inherit the Yorshei Av, inherit all of that. And we don't have to deduct the star, the Balchov star, or the Ksuba. But the Balchov Oimer, or the wife who wants her Ksuba, says, no, Av Meis Rishon, the father died, therefore the son inherited, now he has money, Achakach Meisa Ben, and we can collect from that estate. And aren't we talking about my love Yorshei Av? And who are the Yorshei of the B'ni? The sons of the guy who died, the Ben who died, and the Morisha of our Ache are his brothers. And the Isa Gedach Lomotzi Omer, if we cannot use the Sfora Mikoch Avua da Abo Kasina, I'm coming. The grandson says, I'm coming with the koch of my grandfather. The Chiksiv Tachas Avisecha Yubanecha because of that pasuk. And you're going to say bebracha ksiv? It can't just be bebracha. Ki mesa ben v'achach mesa av ma'avi. What would be the difference if the son had died and then the father? Nemelahu, the Balchov will say to the sons of that guy who died, Yerusha Savlon Kashakilna, I'm taking the Yerusha And because you're inheriting through the grandfather. So the Gemara says, lo, we're not talking about b'ni. When we say Yorshav, Echav, it means his brothers. And they certainly inherit because of the Koach of the Av. And when the Brisa says Moirishav, it's Ache Davua. It's the grandfather's brothers. So there's no Raya from there. Boy, my name Rav Sheshet. Ben, Maush Yirish is Imo Bekever Lanchila Achim Av. Interesting question. So a son dies, and then the mother dies after the son dies. Even though the son is in the grave, maybe he's Yorish's mother, even though he's in the grave. And since he gets that Yerusha, his brothers from the same father would have access to it. So, Amr Rav Sheshes Tanisua. We have a Baraisa. Ha'av Shenishbe. Father was taken prisoner. He died there. We don't know when he died. Umeis Penoba Medina. He has a son in Los Angeles who also dies, but we don't know who died first. Or Ben Shenishba. The opposite. The son is taken prisoner, he dies, and Umeis Avi Medina, and then the father. But we don't know who died first. So the halach is Yorshe Avi Yorshe Ben Yachloku. The heirs of the father and the heirs of the son split it. Hechidami. What's the case? Ile Mekidiktani. So, which are Heininu Yorshe Av, Heininu Yorshe Ben? I mean, any inheritor of the father is also inheritor of the Ben. Elalav Hachikamer. This is the case. Av Shenishba Umeis. Av Shenishba, father's taken prisoner. Umeis Ben Bito b'Medina. His granddaughter, the daughter of his son, dies in the city. Or Ben Bito Shenishbe, the granddaughter is taken prisoner. Umeis Avi Imo b'Medina, and the grandfather dies in the town. We don't know who died first. If the grandfather died first, the grandson inherits. If the grandchild died first, and he didn't inherit the grandfather, the heirs of the grandfather get the Yerusha. So we say Yorshe Av Yorshe Ben Yachloku. They divide it. V'imisa, if the case is that a son can inherit his mother even though he's dead, ni nami, the Ben Meis Bereisha, that in the case even if the son had died first, liarsi lavudi ime bekivre. Let him inherit the father of his mother from the grave, liarsinu lachlu min avua, and give over the assets to his brothers. Ela lav shmamina comes out, she'ena ben yorshasimu bekivre lanchila achimav. If a son inherits his mother if he's alive, if a son dies and then the mother dies, that son doesn't inherit. That's the halacha. Ormar Ravacha bar Menyun li'Abaya. Afanana mitanina. Nafal Abayas alav alimo. A house falls on a person and his mother. Elu modim she'achloku. Both Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel agree that there's two sets of Yorshim divide the money. V'yemis, if it was the case that a son could inherit his mother even though he's dead, so nihinami the Ben Meis Reisha, who cares if the Ben had died first? He would have been able to inherit his mother from the grave and given over those assets to his brother. It's not Yachloku. The fact that we say Yachloku, Lav Shmamino, She'ena Ben Yorshis Avi B'Kerev Lanchila Achimina. Shmamino. Good raya. Time am I. Why is it that a son does not inherit his mother even though he's died? Amar Abayat Nemra Haseba Siba beben, the Nemra Siba baba. It says that the Yerushas will, if there's no ben, it goes the Yisab is a nachla to the next person. So the word aseba, nachla, goes regarding the son and the husband. Masiba morbal ein abal yorshus ishto bekever. If a husband dies while the wife is still alive, he doesn't yorish her. So the son is learned from the husband. Person said to his friend, Nochsai bar sisin mazvina lach. I'm selling you these assets of bar sisin, I'm going to sell to you. Havichada arad avi mikra debei bar sisin. There was a piece of land called the house of bar sisin. Amr lay. So the one who's selling says, Halav debei bar sisin. This is not what I sold you. It's only called Ikru de Mikra debei bar sisin. It's not part of the sale. But the buyer wanted to get that part as well. So the case came to Rav Nachman. Asla came to Rav Nachman. Ukma biyade alokech. He gave it to the purchaser. It is included in the sale. Amle Rav Nachman. Dina achi? Is that the correct din? Hamotz b'chaver alav araya. Let the buyer prove he's the claimant. Let him bring evidence that that was included in the sale. And Rami Rava al Rava and Rav Nachman on Rav Nachman. I'll show you a catch on both. Daud Amar lechavre. Person said to his friend, "My boy is by Besa. What are you doing in this house? It belongs to me." What do you mean? You sold it to me, and I ate payros 3 years on the field. Nobody chased me out. I was in a far place the whole time. I never sold you this house. And I didn't know that you were living there. Therefore, you didn't buy anything. Also coming to Rav Nachman. So the guy that was in the house claiming that he ate chazaka, Rav Nachman told him, Zil bror. Go bring me proof that you ate there for 3 years. You have to bring raya. Rav Nachman, Dina Achi, Hamotz Bechaver, Lava Raya. Which is Kasha Rav al Rav, Kasha Rav Nachman. Rav and Rav Eloi Kasha Hacha. In the case of those Nichse de Bar Sisin, the Moicher Koi ben Nichse, he's the Machzik. The seller has the property. The coin is claiming an extra piece of land. So he has to bring proof. Here the buyer has it. He's living in that house. The guy who's claiming it's not his, he has to get rid of him. He has to bring the evidence. And similarly, Rav Nachman like Kasha. Hacha, in this case, Kivin Sha'omarle, the Bei Bar Sisin, I'm selling you Bei Bar Sisin, Umikre the Bei Bar Sisin, it looks like the buyer is correct. So Alei Didei Rami L'Gilui D'Lav the Bei. So the seller has to prove that he didn't include that piece of property, even though he called it Bei Sisin. And Hacha, in the case of the bias, Lo Yehi Ella the Nakid Shtora. Could be a case of a guy who has a shtar, not that he's claiming that he was in the house for 3 years, but he has a shtar mechira. Milo Amrinan Le Kayim Shtar Chavakumbinach. So we'll say, go certify the shtar, and then you'll be able to have it. So as well, if the claim is being made because he was machzik in the place for 3 years, he has to bring proof for that. Hadalach mishameis, hadalach mishameis, hadalach mishameis. Tomorrow we're learning at 7 o'clock.
Okay.